Alright, hear me out on this one. It's a sci-fi film set in a future where humanity has mastered cloning and memory replication, effectively making death a minor inconvenience. But then, plot twist, the main character gets cloned while he's still alive. Now there are two of him. Wait, hasn't that been done before? Who cares? And of course, we'll cram in all the themes Hollywood loves to pretend it deeply cares about. Environmental destruction, corporate greed, and political satire that's about as subtle as a wrecking ball. We'll bring in a critically acclaimed director known for sharp social commentary to give it some prestige. But, just in case the audience isn't bright enough to grasp the message, we'll beat them over the head with it. And let's get a big-name actor to play the villain, someone who can go completely over the top and turn every scene into an unintentional comedy. Is this actually a good idea, though? Feels like we're recycling the same tired messages Hollywood's been pushing for the last decade. Maybe, just maybe, we should focus on telling a solid sci-fi story instead? You're fired. Never have I seen so much potential squandered so impressively as in Mickey 17. The trailer promised a darkly comedic, satirical sci-fi epic with an acclaimed director at the helm and a talented cast. What we got instead was a mess of Hollywood excess wrapped up in a film that can't decide what it wants to be. The narrative is bloated and unfocused, cramming in too many characters and subplots, taking ages to get going, and ultimately leading nowhere. Characters make bafflingly stupid decisions, the satire is as subtle as a neon billboard, and the humor rarely lands. Moments that are meant to be heartfelt fall flat because the rest of the film is so absurdly disjointed. Alright, let's break down whatever passes for a plot. In the mid-21st century, Earth is falling apart, so humanity is pushing into deep space to colonize new worlds, including an icy planet called Niflheim. Leading the expedition is a billionaire televangelist turned politician with a fan base that wears red hats. Getting the picture yet? Because the mission is so dangerous, they need an expendable crew member, someone who can die repeatedly and be reprinted with their memories intact. Enter Mickey, a man running from his past who signs up for the gig to escape his debts. Not that his backstory matters at all, it just eats up a ton of screen time for no payoff. After 16 versions of Mickey Meet Grizzly ends, Mickey 17 is sent on a mission, only to return and find Mickey 18 already printed. This creates a major problem because duplicates are strictly forbidden. The two Mickeys agree to keep it a secret, until one of them tries to assassinate the mission leader, sparking a chaotic chain of events that threatens a full-blown war with the planet's native species. If I had to pinpoint Mickey 17's biggest flaw, it's that it refuses to focus long enough to achieve anything meaningful. The first half hour is just setup that could have been trimmed significantly. Subplots about gangsters, personal betrayals, and pointless romantic drama clutter the film, distracting from what should be the core story. And the finale? A jumbled mess of contrived twists and nonsensical character decisions that kill any tension or stakes. Buried somewhere in this disaster is a halfway decent concept. The idea of a person dying repeatedly and questioning their own identity has been explored before, but there are still fresh angles to take. Mickey 17, however, burns through its premise without ever doing anything interesting. Watching Mickey get sacrificed over and over could have been darkly amusing, but the joke wears thin fast. And the film completely ignores the deeper philosophical implications of memory, identity, and consciousness that should have been its backbone. The performances don't do much to save things either. Robert Pattinson is easily the best part of the film, trying his hardest to elevate the mediocre material, but his performance comes off like a parody of Rick and Morty's awkward, stammering delivery. Toni Collette, a genuinely talented actress, is wasted on a role that serves no real purpose. And then there's Mark Ruffalo. Oh boy. Ruffalo's character is basically a caricature of a certain real-world figure, and he leans so hard into it that it's almost painful to watch. It's the kind of exaggerated, lazy impression you'd see in a bad SNL skit, only somehow even less funny. In 2025, this kind of political jabbing already feels dated and desperate, and the film seems unaware of how much it undercuts its own premise by prioritizing ham-fisted satire over actual storytelling. To be clear, I have no issue with mocking public figures, but if you're going to do it, at least put some effort into the satire. True satire should be sharp, clever, and insightful, not just an over-the-top cartoon villain spewing nonsense. What Mickey 17 delivers isn't satire, it's parody, and not even a good one. At the end of the day, Mickey 17 is a prime example of Hollywood sinking its teeth into a good idea and draining all the life out of it. It's not funny enough to be a comedy, not smart enough to be a satire, not engaging enough to be good sci-fi, and not thrilling enough to be an action movie. It's just a 2.5-hour slog through a film that doesn't know what it wants to be. Save yourself the time. Go watch something more enjoyable, like paint drying. That's all for today. You know the drill. Later.